Hey guys, Joe Drake here with the Axiom Fitness Academy and bringing you guys part one of a 4-part series on finding success in the fitness industry, and not just things that I think about, but taking a look at some of the biggest names in the industry and really breaking down what it is that they've done consistently to find success, and how can we maybe take some of that, put it into our own action and our own items and do some of the same. So looking at it today, first thing I want to focus on is becoming the resource. So for any of you guys who are familiar with John Goodman, the Personal Training Development Center, this is a huge part that he talks about in his book Viralnomics, of becoming the guy, right? You're the person that, hey, you know what, all your friends have questions about working out and fitness and nutrition, and you're the person that they go to. So how do we go about crafting that? How do we go about making sure that that happens? So first one is you actually have to know your stuff. So you actually have to know what it is you're talking about. You have to work to become an expert. Right now, I think we live in a time when a lot of us want to skip that step, right? We see all these people out there doing these great things. It's easy to put out content and information, but am I actually spending the time to go about learning and become an expert and get the experience to do these things? And that's a huge thing. So that is everything from reading, right? They say you spend an hour a day reading, you're going to become an expert in your field, in less than 10 years, or you're going to become one of the top experts in your field. So are you reading on a regular basis? And I mean outside of like men's health, men's fitness. You look at someone like Juan Carlos Santana, or you look at Mike Boyle or Eric Cressy, all these big names out there in training, that's something that they've done relentlessly, right? So you don't just have to kind of know your stuff, you got to really become an expert in that field. Learning is one piece of that. It doesn't have to necessarily happen through a traditional education, right? You don't have to necessarily go back to college. I say creating a niche. Kind of. I think early on, especially when it comes in fitness, if you're working with clients in person, you're going to work with a wide variety of people. So your niche doesn't necessarily have to be, hey, you know what, I've developed a reputation with soccer players. But maybe it's also just the way that you interact with people. Maybe it's your reputation, your style. I don't think you necessarily need to think, hey, day one when I start training, all right, I need to go only after these clients, because there's a lot to be learned in that process of truly becoming the best at what you guys do and becoming that resource. So you've got to learn a little bit about a lot of clients. At some point in time, it's probably going to happen naturally. Mentorship. So, this probably ties in a lot to knowing your stuff, right? If we can learn from people who have been there and done it before, then that's the best way to go, right? We're going to get to success faster. So part of it, if you guys are looking to become the resource, like I am, I'm looking to the people who are further down the road than myself and saying, hey, what can I learn from them? And then actually engaging with those people in a mentorship relationship, which you'd be surprised by how many people will give you their time when you actually ask for it as well. The best people, the most successful out there in any industry are constantly in mentorship relationships, whether they are the mentor, the mentee, or probably both. So make sure you are seeking out people to learn from, or someone to latch onto that you can relate to, you can learn from, and they can help further your growth and your knowledge too. And then on top of that, taking action. This is all great, I think, for some of us to know. I think a lot of us know, hey, guess what? I want to be a resource. I've got to be not only knowledgeable, I got to know my stuff, but I got to get out there and actually put out information that people want to listen to. And that's constantly taking action. And I think that might be one of the #1 variables that separates people from being successful, is taking action consistently. Mostly because it's not sexy. It's something we just have to do on a regular basis. But especially if you're going to become an expert, you're going to be reading all the time. Guess what? You got to take action every day when it doesn't sound that exciting to sit down and read a book. So in general, guys, just some basic information. We continue to put out more on becoming the resource, and keep an eye out for parts 2, 3, and 4 to understand how you guys can find more success in the fitness industry.